An unconfirmed video has popped up on YouTube featuring soldiers in southern Syria dancing to an Usher song. Let's take a look. Now, according to the Associated Press, toward the end of the video, the soldiers are saying, "With our souls, our blood, we sacrifice for you, Bashar." So that's the reason why they believe that these are Syrian soldiers fighting for Bashar Assad.
Now, they also have Syrian uniforms on.
Yeah.
So we don't know who taped it, hence it's unconfirmed, but it seems pretty solid that it is actually Syrian soldiers in southern Syria. Based on the circumstantial evidence that we have. So I find it amazing on a couple of grounds. Number one, this is the people supporting Bashar al-Assad with their lives. The United States government is totally against Bashar al-Assad. Well, mostly against them. We haven't taken any action. There isn't any oil in Syria. I don't know if you know that that's a part of our equation. Anyway, but nonetheless, look at them. They want to dance to American music anyway. So
yeah.
if our government didn't have crap foreign policy, and if we didn't try to dominate, like, oh, invade Iraq based on, oh, imminent threat from their weapons of mass destruction, and we didn't do the drone strikes, etc., the rest of the world wants to like us. They like the jeans, they like the music, they like the burgers. Let them like us.
I don't know if the rest of the world really likes us. They definitely
like the culture.
They like our pop culture. That there's no question about
that.
They
like our pop culture, and they like the idea of America, the opportunity, etc. The idea. Unfortunately, we're quietly, slowly strangling the idea. Here at home, we're lessening the opportunity for people, so you don't have equality of opportunity. And in foreign policy, we're saying, oh, okay, yeah, we're in favor of democracy unless Hamas wins in the elections in the Gaza Strip, then never mind, right?
Yeah.
And we're in favor of human rights unless you live in northern Pakistan or Yemen or Somalia, in which case we're going to drop a drone strike on your wedding, right?
Yeah.
If we actually lived our principles, the world would come in our direction so much quicker.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's an accident. I think that we have the right principles, but we actively push people away, and we do these drone strikes, etc., so that we can create more conflict, so the guys who give a ton of money to our politicians, the defense contractors, can get more money. More military conflict means more money for them.
Yeah, I think, the industrial military complex has a lot to do with it. Our foreign policy has a lot to do with the disdain other countries have for us. But at the same time, I think it goes even further than that. Because one thing that I definitely experienced traveling abroad is that Americans have been brainwashed into thinking that we are the best. That we have the best country regardless of what our government is doing, and that no other culture can compare to our culture. So when you travel, people immediately think like, oh, there's the dumb American, right, who doesn't understand our culture, that thinks that he or she is superior to us. So we got to change that as well. It goes further than just what our government's doing.
I hear you, but they call us, oh yeah, you think your culture is better. Of course it's not. Then you put on an Usher song, and go like, dun, 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 right? Like, okay, all right, so it's a little of both. They like to talk a lot of smack and then go to American movies. Keep it real, right?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying everyone loves American pop culture. There's no question about that because it's entertaining, it could be risque.
Well, then let's take advantage of that and do the right things and have people, come to our side. And look, the Syrian conflict is not about America, right? Now, the other conflicts, Iraq, Libya, etc., obviously there's a huge American role. Iraq was solely American role. But in Syria, Bashar al-Assad's killing his people, which leads to the second interesting part of this, is that look at these guys, man. Propaganda is an amazing thing. They're willing to lie their lives down for Bashar al-Assad, the weirdo son of a dictator who's now himself an even worse dictator than his father was. What are you going to lose your life for fucking Bashar for? Mm-hmm. With our souls, our lives, we fight for fucking Bashar? Can you imagine a worse way to lose your life fighting for that stupid dictator in Syria? Now look, it's more complicated than that because there's sectarian strife, and if Bashar is in your, is in your sect, you're also partly protecting your sect and your family and your community. I get all that, and you're getting paid for it. There's a lot of different factors. But also a big factor is, our leader is Bashar al-Assad. And so that he can live in a mansion and before this war mainly live it up in foreign capitals and go to Paris all the time and have unbelievable purses for his wife. I shall lay down my life. Yeah, have at it, Hoss, but that's a pretty dumb fucking idea.